curators like to call where we are right now Delaware's attic, because we've got so much stuff to describe Delaware's history from the very early years of settlement all the way up to the present. What we have is a pretty deep and rich and varied collection. And in every single category of decorative arts, you name it, we have it. And that's the fun of it and the beauty of it. We are very rich, as you would say, in our cultural heritage, all the way from every strata of life. And we don't discriminate in that regard, because Delaware's story is told through everybody. And that's what we tried to collect, whether it's a painting or a piece of furniture. But we like to collect it all, because it's the true story of everybody in the state. We have a painting in storage. She is Mrs. A.N. Spinell. Her husband was the founder of Playtex, and that, of course, is headquartered here in Dover. And there is a very playful portrait of Mrs. Spinell. She is dealing her cards, and according to the stories that we have heard, she did play cards quite avidly. But it shows a beautiful young woman doing just that. The story on these jars and jugs is that stores had identifiers, and they would have a jar or a jug made for them for purchase so that they could do their advertising in a storage jar or in, as you can see here, a liquor container. So just to show you one from Dover, we've got several of these in the collections. It is Levy and Gloucester, which was a Dover company who made pure rye whiskey, and it still has its corncob plug. The state of Delaware has a vast textile collection. These two dresses actually come from the 19th century, and there's one here that is blue plaid. It is Civil War era. It's about 1860. It's a wedding dress worn by a woman from Dover. But just look at the detail of this dress, the wide bell sleeves. The fabric itself is a woven. It's not a stamped or a pressed fabric, and it's in exquisite condition. I would say I have a favorite in every single area of the decorative arts. Quilts have become my favorites because of our quilt documentation project. There's one right here beside me. It's a very high-style applique quilt made in the tulip design. It even has a sawtooth and tulip swag border, which is really unusual. And it's an amazing document of women's work. The joy of my job is coming into work every day, being able to look at what is here in the state's collections, figure out my projects for the week. We might get a request from somewhere in government or in the public that says, "What do you have? Can you get it here now?" And that's the joy. It always keeps you on the move, and makes you realize that every single object that the state owns is here to tell the story and is useful one way or the other to somebody.